Hey guys, it's Daniel, and today we're going to be trying out LATAM's 787-800 economy product on a flight from JFK to Santiago de Chile. Our journey starts north of New York City, where I hopped on an Amtrak headed to Penn Station. I then took a subway and connected onto JFK's AirTrain. And a quick piece of advice for those going to JFK, if you can refill your MTA card before getting to the station where the AirTrain departs from, definitely do that. I had to wait upwards of 20 minutes just to pay for my ticket. It seems that when a lot of international flights are leaving, the machines get filled up with passengers who can't pay because they have international cards, so keep that in mind. Once in Terminal 4, I found myself in this insanely long TSA line, which meant I had no time to eat before my flight. The views from the gate area weren't too great, but we started boarding relatively soon. Just before 7 p.m., I boarded and finally got a good look at today's plane, an 8-year-old 787-800. Once on board, I also got a brief look at the somewhat dated business class cabin. Today I'm seated in seat 22L, a window seat in the first of two sections of economy seating. Waiting for me on the seat was a pillow, blanket, and some headphones. Although crooked, these headrests were probably the best I've ever experienced in economy. They held up and stayed in place very well, and were pretty thick and soft. These unique tray tables also come with a cup holder on the outside, and when you open the tray itself, you'll find another cup holder waiting for you. Above was a standard light and air vent for each seat. As other LATAM reviews have mentioned, the pillow and blanket were both a notch above what you usually get in economy. In particular, the blanket felt much thicker and in true Chilean style had some sort of copper technology in it. One thing I've noticed on LATAM 787s is that they always have a bunch of duct tape on the wings. Not sure if I should be concerned about that or not. At 7:25, we pushed back and slowly worked our way up to runway 13 right. At 7:56 p.m., we took off and turned south, following the east coast as the sun set. At about 8:40, the flight attendants began the meal service. For whatever reason, while one flight attendant started with the row in front of the LATAM Plus seats, another flight attendant began not with the other economy section behind us, but instead with the row right after me, which was row 23. This meant that we got to smell people eating food right behind us, but had to wait for everyone else in front of us. Even worse for the hungry passenger that I was the fact that it took more than 50 minutes from when row 23 got their food until us in row 22 did. While waiting, I took a look at the good selection of movies available, albeit on a fairly laggy screen. One interesting note was that I never found English subtitles available for movies, only Spanish and Portuguese. Once the painful wait was over, we were offered pasta, meat, roasted potatoes, or chicken salad, which I thought was a pretty good variety. I got the pasta, along with a cup of white wine and another cup of water. The pasta was pretty good, but nothing amazingly special. It came with a mini pita bread that was also alright, but I'm almost certain that it was the same bread that they often serve at my college dining halls. That may have made me unfairly hostile towards said bread. It also came with cream cheese and a little almond chocolate truffle. As good as that was, it was really small considering that it constituted all of dessert. All around, the meal was pretty good, albeit small for a flight more than 10 hours long. A few minutes after they had collected all of the trash from dinner, the lights were dimmed so that we could sleep. A flight attendant also came around offering everyone an extra cup of water before sleeping, which was a nice touch. The recline on these seats is really good. It's hard to catch it on video, but the person in front of me reclined way back, which I tried to capture here. Similar to many seats seen on the A220, the bottom of the seat also slides forward when reclining. I don't usually sleep on flights, but I actually managed to get upwards of 5 hours on this one, waking up as we were just reaching the northern coast of Chile. One thing I really appreciated is that LATAM never locked the window shading buttons. I really hate when airlines do that, and it's not too uncommon on other flights to Chile. Just past 4 a.m., the lights were partially increased for the breakfast service. Again, the flight attendant started at row 23, leaving us for last. Our two options this time were a ham and cheese sandwich on a bagel or an omelet. Not knowing what was in the omelet, I stuck with the sandwich. Aside from the sandwich, we had a blueberry cake and a container with a few grapes, a piece of cantaloupe, and a piece of pineapple. With May being the start of winter in Chile, the sunrise was still a while away, so we descended through the darkness and into Santiago. 5:20 a.m., we touched down on runway 17 left and taxied into Terminal E. Upon heading to immigration, I was surprised to see that most booths for Chilean citizens had been replaced by new e-gate style machines, which, presumably, will open sometime soon. All around, I was pretty happy with this flight. Besides the annoyance with the food situation, which is unique to the rows just ahead of row 23, everything was good. The seat was very comfortable and the service was great. With LATAM being the only airline with direct flights between New York and Chile, hopping on their 787-800 is a pretty great way to get to Santiago.